This morning, I took my ninth dose of Zepbound. And after 4 weeks on the 5 milligrams, then another 4 weeks on the 10 milligrams, I have titrated up to 12.5. And in this episode, I'm going to give you an update on the following things. I'm going to give you an update on how much weight I lost, my average weight loss per week, how I'm feeling as far as any side effects now that I'm on the 12.5 milligrams, and what I'm doing to achieve success on Zepbound. There's a lot for us to cover. So let's go ahead and jump in. Hello, 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 bold, brave, and brilliant ladies and gentlemen. It's so nice to have you back here. Thank you for tuning in. I am Angela Durant, and I have been taking Zepbound for now. This is my ninth week. My name is Angela Durant. My friends call me Ange, so I think that all who visit are friends. And I'm somebody who's struggled with my weight almost all my life since I was age 7. So as a little girl, and at my highest weight, I was 331 pounds. I am 5'2.5" tall, so I'm not that tall. And I know, shout out to all the ladies who are vertically challenged out there. I know some of you have said that you're not that tall either, so we're in the same camp. And if you're new here, welcome. It's nice to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. And this YouTube channel is for you if you're someone who is considering weight loss medication, whether it's Ozempic, which is for type 2 diabetes, but has the effect of weight loss as well. If it's Wegovy, which is the same drug, maybe a higher concentration, but it's made by Novo Nordisk, and it is specifically prescribed for weight loss. Or if you are, and those drugs are called semaglutides, as well as if you're thinking about taking Saxenda, maybe your doctor prescribes Saxenda, which I've taken that before too, or you're on Mounjaro or Ozempic or Zepbound, which is what I'm on, Zepbound. Mounjaro, for those of you who are new who don't know, Mounjaro and Zepbound are the same exact drug. They have the same doses, but they're in, one is FDA approved for type 2 diabetics. The other one is FDA approved for obesity management and weight loss. Okay. So if you're thinking about that, if you're just starting on your journey, if you wanted to link in and find out how other people are doing, welcome. This place is for you. You're in the right place. And you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you do that, as well as ring that bell so you know when I drop a new video. And I try to give a weekly update, but I also will fill in other videos depending on what's happening. So over the last few days, this week, I actually monetized. To my surprise, I monetized on YouTube, and I wanted to share that with some people in the community who were interested in that. So I made a special video just for that. They were, a few of you said, yes, tell me, I've been considering starting a YouTube channel, and I want to know how to monetize it, or I have a site, I've had it for years, but I've never made any money on it. What are you doing? So I created these master classes within our channel. And I know it's not for everybody, but for the specific people who are interested in it, it is there. And there's also a gift of a quiz that helps you get really clear about who you are and how you want to show up. Because I'm a brand strategist. So of course, my approach to it is going to be brand strategy. So that's available to you too. You'll find those. I'm not sure if I'll link it here, but if I don't link it here, it will be in those. If you just look for the master classes on monetization, you'll see it. Okay. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And all of those who've been following the journey, welcome back. All the friends to the channel, welcome back. It's so nice to have you here. And thank you for all of your comments and for your questions and insights. It's been wonderful. So I also created one more thing before we jump in. I wanted to share with you that I also created it's a PDF downloadable for you. And I'll have that in the show notes. And if I don't have it in there yet, I'll put it in there. So if you're watching this right away, as soon as I record it, it might not be in there yet, but just check back for it. Okay, it's gonna be called the Beginner's Jumpstart to Losing Weight on Zepbound, and the 5 biggest mistakes to avoid that will stall your success. You'll want to check that out, and it's absolutely free. You'll just download it. Okay, all right. So, like many of you, I was exhausted, right? I felt like I had tried almost everything to lose weight, and I could lose weight, but I couldn't keep it off. And I was on Weight Watchers for so many times. I was on LA Weight Loss, which I don't think even exists anymore. I was on a program called like Optivia or something like that. I couldn't tolerate the food that they sent me boxed up. That didn't work for me. I went to Overeaters Anonymous. I had 2 bariatric surgeries. The first one I had was in 2009. That was a lap band. And with the lap band, I had a lot of success with it initially. I lost 157 pounds on the lap band. And that's unusual because typically you don't lose as much on the lap band. I don't even think their doctors are doing the lap band anymore. But back then, they didn't even think I was a good candidate for it, but I was afraid to get gastric bypass, so I went with the lap band. Well, I lost so much weight on the lap band, 157 pounds, that I was asked by my doctor to come and kind of be a spokesperson to talk while they were doing their presentations, to stand side by side with someone else who had the gastric bypass and had success on it. And we would share our stories, right? So I was kind of like the poster child for the lap band, right? And then 10 years, I did really well for about 5-6 years. And then 10 years later, the weight started piling back on again. I was exhausted. I was fearful, but I went ahead and had the gastric bypass surgery in 2019. I lost only about 30 pounds on the gastric bypass. To my surprise, I thought, oh, this is a fix. We're going to shut it down. I'm going to be well. I'm never going to have to worry about my weight again. That wasn't my case. That wasn't my story. So I've even tried recently, last year in 2023, I tried Ozempic and I tried Saxenda. Ozempic had to stop because the doctors would no longer, or my insurance would no longer cover it because the classification was now, it was FDA approved for specifically type 2 diabetes. And so my insurance stopped covering it. Okay. And I also, so then my doctor put me on Saxenda, which is also, and both of those are Novo Nordisk drugs made by Novo Nordisk. But Saxenda has been around for a long time. I think 2014 it came out. And it can help you lose 5 to 8% of your weight, but it's not like, Ozempic or Wegovy where you're hitting like 15% of your weight, right? So I started my weight loss journey, bringing you current day. I started my weight loss journey with Zepbound almost 9 weeks ago. And the reason that I started taking Zepbound specifically was because of the Wegovy shortage. You see, when they cut me off from Ozempic, my insurance company said, okay, we will cover Wegovy. So my doctor sent over the script for Wegovy, but what happened? There was a shortage. That was back in August. I waited from August to August of 2023 to January 2024 to get the medication. And they're like, you're on the wait list, but I couldn't get it. And I would even call the pharmacy and they said, if you're calling about Ozempic or Wegovy, we don't have it, right? So I couldn't get it. And so that's why I was on the Saxenda for a while. Then my doctor in January, we just decided, okay, let's just bite the bullet and go for Zepbound. And Zepbound, I wanted to do Zepbound, but my insurance would not approve it, right? They wouldn't approve it. They're like, nope, try Wegovy. And I said, but I can't get Wegovy. They're like, too bad, try Saxenda again, or try Allied, one of the other drugs. And so I just decided to pay out of pocket for it, right? Now, what I also like about Zepbound versus the Wegovy or the Ozempic is that the research studies showed a greater weight loss with Zepbound at 22% body weight versus the 15% of the body weight of the excess weight with Wegovy. So I wanted to go for the one that I thought would be the more powerful drug for me. What I found now from hearing from many of you is that they all work, right? They're all good. And they're all giving people good success for the most part. It's just about whether or not you can tolerate it. Because there are people who cannot tolerate Wegovy, and then there are people who cannot tolerate Zepbound. So, that might be the case. But so far, so good with Zepbound. I'll give you an update in just a second. So, my insurance wouldn't cover Zepbound originally. So, like many of you, I know many of you are paying out of your pocket, and I know I feel that pain for sure. Feel that pain. So I paid out of pocket, and usually, and what I used was the Eli Lilly savings card. And if you're looking for that card, you could find it on the Zepbound website. It's Eli Lilly's website for, I think it's zepbound.com. If you go there, you'll if you scroll down, it'll talk about savings, and you can apply for the card, and then they send you the numbers. And then you just give your pharmacy those. They're going to ask you for all those numbers. You give them the numbers when you go to pick up your prescription, and then you'll pay out of pocket. My out of pocket, and it may vary from state to state, but my out of pocket was $550, because the retail price here for Zepbound is $1,250. So I was able to get it for $550 here. Okay. So I did that from February through like just a couple weeks ago. This new injection, the 12.5, is what I was able to get my insurance finally approved it after 3 denials. And we just kept sending in pre-auths. They denied it. I called them. There was a lot of back and forth. They really didn't give me a valid reason why they wouldn't approve it. But at last, thankfully, and I'm so grateful for that, they finally approved it. And so I was able to use my prescription, and then my copay was $100. And then I still applied the Eli Lilly savings card to that at the pharmacy, and that brought my copay down from $100 to just $25. Okay. For those of you who've been following me, you know this, but for the new people, I just kind of wanted to bring you up to speed. I also have a brilliant and very compassionate medical team surrounding me. Okay, I'm my primary care, and then I have a specific weight management team that I work with, and that it also includes a nutritionist and I guess a physiologist, someone that helps me with working out, making sure that I'm exercising in the proper way. Okay, so that give you the background of what this looks like. So what I like about these medications, the semaglutides and the tirzepatides, and what I find that the major difference between the two for me is that, both of them give me this feeling of satiety, right? They make you feel full faster and longer. That's the way that the drug works. The GLP-1s, that's how they work. But as I mentioned before, that wasn't enough for me, because I had restriction with the lap band. I had some restriction with gastric bypass, not a ton. But for me, it wasn't about fullness. It wasn't about having, feeling so full. I could feel like Thanksgiving full, and you can offer me something that I like a sugar cookie or something, and I will still say, yes, I'll have it, because my head was always hungry, right? And what I love about this medication is that it addresses the hormones address the head too, as well as your tummy. Your head is addressed too, and I always feel like I got guards standing at the door in my head saying, "Nope, we're not eating that. We're not hungry right now. So just keep it moving with all those goodies and all the food." And I have more control, and I like to say that I feel normal, like my friends who can see things they like and say, "No, thank you," or take just a bite of it and say, "Okay, I'm good. I just wanted to taste it. I'm good." I was never like that. And now I have that control. And I like to say that, the hunger and that food noise the head hunger, the food noise for me was like a beast, right? It was like a beast. And now I have my beast on a leash, right? And it sits when I tell it to sit. It stays when I tell it to stay, right? If I'm working and I don't want to step away to go have lunch just yet, I'm not, I'm in control, right? The food is not in control anymore. The head hunger is not in control. I'm in control. And I can say, beast, you're on a leash. Just settle down. We'll get food, momentarily. And that's the control that you have with this drug. So I just wanted to describe that for people who haven't taken it yet and you're not sure how it would make you feel in your body. And everybody's different, so I can't say you'll feel the exact same way, but I hear a lot of people say that they no longer have that head hunger. So it's, well, physically how I feel is normal. Like there's like nothing. If you didn't tell me I took a shot today, I wouldn't even know I took it, right? Like I don't have a headache, I don't have nausea, I have nothing. I would, the first few times I took the medication, especially when I was on Ozempic, I was like, does this really work? Like, what is this? What is this medication I'm taking? Does it really work? So I didn't even know that it was effective until two things happened. One, I was at Staples. I was shopping for office supplies. I'm an entrepreneur. I was getting some office supplies and I was hungry, right? But my family, we were going to go for lunch in about an hour. So I'm in the checkout line behind a couple people. My stomach is growling. So I am physically hungry. And I look over and, they have product placement, right? They have product placement. All the goodies are right there where you can just grab them and see them. And normally I would have grabbed a bag or two of candy and put it in my cart and munched on it just to tide me over until lunch. But I looked over at it and I was like, do I really want to eat that when I'm going to have lunch? No, I'll pass. That's the first sign that I knew that wasn't normal for me. I'd never done that before. So I was like, I'm passing on that and my stomach is growling. So I knew that something had changed, right? So that was the first sign. I didn't feel anything in my body, but my mind was like, you got control. You don't need to have that right now. That was the first sign. The second one was when I got on the scale, when I did Ozempic, and I don't even remember how long I did it for, several months, but I lost 19 pounds. And I wasn't weighing myself because I didn't think it worked, right? So I didn't even keep track of it until the weight started coming off, right? But with all of these drugs, once you stop taking it, what happens? You start gaining the weight back, right? So I gained all that weight back. And my medical team started to really get concerned. And so they were very happy when I was able to get onto the Zepbound because they knew that I'm somebody I suffer from obesity, the disease of obesity, and this is a medication that I really need to keep this under control, to keep that beast on a leash, right? So I wanted to share that with you. So I started my Zepbound journey 9 weeks ago, and I've been able to tolerate the medication well. I'm currently on the 12.5 milligrams. The highest level is 15. And I know some of you veterans out there are going to say, Ange, slow down, stop titrating up so fast. I've talked to people who have lost a lot of weight on this, and they've said to me, I wish I could have stayed on the lower doses longer. But and I would have stayed on 10, but one of the reasons that I titrated up is because I couldn't find any other dose. I called all around, and in my neck of the woods, they said they only had 12.5. So that's why we went up to 12.5. Okay. If I can stay here, fine. I got, my goal is to stay here for as long as I can until I need to go up to 15. But I hear you. So let's get to it. You're like, okay, Ange, enough about that. What's going on? It's been 9 weeks. Like, what is happening with you? Your weight. So this morning I weighed in. Drum roll, please. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And my weight is now, I started at 296. That was my weight when I started on Zepbound. 296. My current weight is 268.8 for a total weight loss of 27.2 pounds. Can you believe it? 27.2 pounds. Yay! So excited about that. That will give me an average of, you look at over 9 weeks, that's an average of losing 3 pounds every week, right? Now, let me just say, if you're teeny tiny, meaning you're like 250 or below, that's teeny tiny in my world, right? Right. You may not be losing on average 2 pounds a week. I think when you have a lot more to lose, you lose faster, right? I think you drop the weight faster when you make these corrections and you've got a tool to help you. So if you're only losing a pound or 2 pounds, or even it's slower, like don't fret. It's coming off. It's coming off. But I've been fortunate to lose around the average of 3 pounds a week because I'm carrying so much on a very small frame. I'm only 5'2.5". So I'm really happy about that. I'm happy that the scale is moving because that's we want to get healthier, right? We want to make sure that we're feeling good. I'm going to show a body shot. Let me do that real quick so that you can see what I look like. I always like to do this for you and for me too, to keep track of how I'm doing and what I look like. I can start to see it a little bit in my face. I usually say to you guys, I can't tell. But let me just show you what I look like here. In fact, see how far I can back up here. This is me. This is what I look like. Take off and this dress, I haven't worn this dress in years. I used to wear this dress when I worked in an office. I work from home now because I'm an entrepreneur. But this is what I look like. I don't know if the print helps or not. If the print helps me or not. But no undergarments, no undergarments. So you can kind of see. I got my belly here. But this is what I look like at 268.8 pounds. Okay, 268.8 pounds is what I look like. So I want to give you a shot of that. That's down 27.2 pounds is what I'm down. So one of you said that from my post last week, I wore the green dress that I couldn't zip, but now I can zip it. One of you said that I should use that every once a month when I weigh in, I should wear the green dress so that you can see the difference in the dress. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to try that. I am going to try that. Okay, so we got that out of the way. I like to give you guys a body shot just so you can see, because sometimes you're like, well, you're sitting down, I can see your face, but I can't really tell, how big you are. So now you can see how big I am, right? And then the only side effects that I've noticed on my journey is my side effects is the whelps. I get these. It looks look and feel like a mosquito bite or a spider bite. So it's like a little lump will show up on my skin, and sometimes it's a little red, but it's not like it's not a rash. It's like a little bump, and then it's itchy like a mosquito bite. Like that's what I have, and it shows up all different places. I had 3 on my arm one week. I had like 2 on my neck, 1 behind my ear one time. Like it was like popping up in different places of my body, on my ankle, behind my calf, and it was itching. So if you have that, and what we discovered in this community is that nobody really connected that to the medication until we started talking about it. And people were like, I had that too. So that was the side effect that I had. And my doctor thinks that that's odd because she said normally when you break out because of a medication, you break out in the same spot, but not for me. Like I even had it on my hand for a couple days. So I don't know how to explain it, but it is related to the medication because I never had that before. So that's one. And if it gets too itchy, I take Benadryl. But my doctor just gave me a cream she wants me to take to see how I do with that. So that's been my only side effect. I don't have nausea, diarrhea, constipation. Constipation, a lot of people report having that. You got to check with your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm just one girl sharing her story. But you want to, I think drinking the water really helps me. And then I also have Colace. And somebody's like, there are many different Colaces, but they gave me Colace when I had bariatric surgery because they said you can be very constipated from the anesthesia. And that's true. And so they gave me Colace and it worked for me. So that's why I just went back to something I knew it worked for me. And I use the one, it's a liquid. And so I just use that. If I think, I'm like, I don't know. I'll take like a half of a portion of it and everything's fine. So drinking lots of water, and I think your diet too. So just that's what I do. But I really haven't had any problems with that. And then the other thing that somebody mentioned as a side effect that I didn't think of was a side effect was not being able to sleep. I'm able to sleep fine now, but when I first started taking the medication, I was not sleeping that well. So I think that could have been happening, but I didn't make the connection earlier on. Now I'm good, but in the beginning, I wasn't sleeping the best. So I wanted to share that with you too, just in case you're having insomnia. It might be because of the medication. Okay, let's see. Okay, I wanted to share with you the medications just to kind of give you a screenshot of the medications and where I take them, because some people are saying, well, which injection shot are you location are you using? And with Zepbound, I think it's on here. On Zepbound, I don't know if you can see this or not. I don't know if it's clear enough. See the body, and they're showing the different places: the tummy, the thigh, or the back of the arm. I've tried it in all the different places. My last two shots were on was on this arm, one was on the back of this arm. My husband gave it to me, but I haven't felt a difference. Some people say, "Oh man, when I take it on my arm, I lose like 10 pounds that week," and somebody else is like, "Oh, when I take it on my leg, oh, I feel sick the whole week." I haven't had that experience. It's been exactly the same, no different. I haven't I haven't noticed a difference. But let me just show you what the medication looks like. So in the beginning, I started on Ozempic, right? And Ozempic kind of looks like this. This isn't Ozempic. This is actually Saxenda. But Ozempic comes in this exact same pen, and it's made by Novo Nordisk, so they use the same thing. But this is, I don't know if you can see. I don't know if it's backwards or not, but this is Saxenda. This is a medication called Saxenda. And the way it works is just like Ozempic. If some of you are on Ozempic or Wegovy, it doesn't have the needle on it, right? It comes like this. The medication is in here. And then you get a box of needles. And let me show you. You get the needle. The little needles are like this. They look like this. And then you take the top off. You take the top off. I'll just use one real quick to show you. Just peel the top off, and then you screw it on. See, it gets you screwed on like that. So you screw in the needle on in there, and then remove this, and you remove this, and then that even has a little bit of medicine in it. That has medicine in it. Oh, I think I used one that was still full. Full. That's full. That still has medication. And remember, I stopped taking this, and I started taking. So let me just cover that back up. And I started taking Zepbound because it wasn't as effective for me, Saxenda. But that's how it works, right? And then you press the pen. You adjust the dial to the dose you want to take. You adjust the dial. See the little, I don't know if you can see a little dial. Yep, you can see it. You adjust that, and then you press this button down, right? So that's how you administer these, right? And I don't know if the cap will go back on because I have the needle on it. Okay, so that's Saxenda. So I wanted to show you that. And it comes in a box that looks like this. It looks like that in the box, a smaller box than what you're used to for those of you who are on Zepbound. I'm going to show you now the Zepbound. This is the Zepbound box. This was my 10 milligrams, and they have them all color coded. So you see how this is like a fuchsia pink? This is the 10 milligrams. This is the box that comes in, and 4 pens come in here. 4 pens come in here, and the pens look like this. So this was my 10 milligram, right? So that's what I was taking of Zepbound, the 10 milligram. And this is blue. See, that's blue, is color coded. That's the 12.5. Okay. So they're all the same. And the medication is in here. I used it, so you can't see it now. You see it looks like a little screw came down. Basically, the way you take this is you remove the cap, the bottom of the thing. The needle, you probably can't see it that way, but the needle is inside. You turn the dial, right? You turn the dial. It already has the amount of medication in it, 12.5. You turn the dial, and then you put it on your belly, your back of your arm, but don't do it back of your arm by yourself. Have somebody help you with it. Back of the arm or the thigh. And then once it's open, once that chamber is open, let me just see if I can get it back to you. See the green? Can you see the green and the gray? So one is open and closed. Once it's open, you press the top down, and it clicks. It gives you 2 clicks. Click like it's engaged, and then click again, meaning the medicine has been dispensed. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And then you're done. And I always check my skin because I never feel a thing. So for some of you who are afraid of needles, like, no, I don't want to take a needle. It's so tiny and thin, you don't even feel it. Like I check my skin to see if there's a little prick because I'm like, did it go? Did it work? Did I, because that medicine is expensive. So if you mess it up, you just lost 100 and some odd dollars, right? 125, $35. I check my skin and I see a little tiny speck of blood. I'm like, okay, it worked. And then I clean it off. And always clean your skin before you take it. Always clean your skin with alcohol, right? With a little cotton ball and alcohol. Okay, I just wanted to show that to you for those people who are like, what is this drug? What are all these people talking about? What does it look like? That's what it looked like. There's one more thing that I want to share with you, and that's about feeling hungry, right? Feeling hungry, and for people who are like paying all this money for this medication, you're like, I should not be feeling hungry, right? I should not be at the fridge with it open on this medication. Let me tell you about something called half-life. Okay, so for me, around day 5, and I feel like I'm a severe case, right? I always say I think I'm a tough case. My doctor said to me, those lower doses aren't going to work for you. I don't think they're going to work for you. I think you need the higher doses for that to really be effective for you, right? So I was like, okay, all right, no problem. So for me, that's what I need, and so I want to talk to you about half-life because around day 5 of my week, right, I start to get hungry again. I start to have hunger pains. And I was talking to somebody who's been on this journey for a long time, very seasoned, lost a lot of weight on it. And she said, oh, that's the way the drug is designed, right? The drug, it's half-life. And I'm like, okay, so what are you talking about? She's like, it starts to wear off in day 5. Day 5, it's like less powerful, less effective. Day 5 and 6. So it's normal for your hunger to come back. So some of you have so much in your system that you're like, I could go a month and I'm still good. But for me, I start getting hungry. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? That head hunger and food noise starts to return. So let me just read to you what the definition of half-life is on the medication. So it says that I looked this up online. It says the half-life of a drug is the time it takes for the amount of a drug's active substance in your body to reduce by half, right? It's active substance in your body to reduce by half. This depends on how the body processes and gets rid of the drug. It can vary from a few hours to a few days or sometimes weeks. Okay. So for me, it starts wearing off. Now let's see how the 12.5 does. Maybe that'll be different. But for me, it starts wearing off. So I start to get hungry. So I just need to be consciously aware of that so that I'm not, just grabbing for things and, messing up my good week when I'm doing great, right? So, and then the last thing I wanted to mention to you is that I'm still hearing that there's a shortage. So I want you to know, share with me in the chat. Let me know how you're doing, if you're able to get your medication or if you're still finding that there's a shortage for you too. Let me know that. And then if you're finding it, where are you finding it? Some people said they're going to Costco. I mentioned that where I live on the East Coast and where I am, Wegmans grocery store had it at their pharmacy, but they only had the 12.5. So let me know so that we can share it out. I'll share with the group, if you have any special ways of getting it. Some of you are using the compounds and having a lot of success on them. I don't know much about compounds, so I couldn't really share anything with you about that. I do have some fear that, it's not a brand that I trust. But I'm hearing that they're very, very good, and that, what I would advise, as always, is that I'm not a doctor, just one girl sharing my journey, and that you contact your doctor and ask your doctor what they think about that. I also understand that Eli Lilly is sending vials and syringes to people now because they can't keep up with the manufacturing of the pens. So that's an option too. If we can't get it from our local pharmacy. I haven't had to do that yet, but if I do, I certainly will share that with all of you. And so finally, here's what I've learned over the past 9 weeks. I learned that music helps with workouts. So if you're somebody who does not like to work out, music might help. It helps me. I might even include playlists here. If you guys want me to include some of the things that I listen to that keep me going, let me know. You already know what my theme song is, so that's top of the list. I listen to that either before or at the end of my workout. And that song is Bad Mama Jamma. So if you guys want me to add the playlist, I'll do that. Just let me know. Some people on this medication can lose a lot of weight without working out. That was an aha moment that I had this week, and talking to someone who has lost a ton of weight, looks amazing. And she said to me, Ange, I have not worked out like one day since I've been on this medication. And I'm like, what? I've been telling everybody that's the magic, right? You combine the medication and the workout. That's really what's going to help move the needle. And she said she did not work out. So some of you may be blessed and not having to work out. You just have to pay attention to your muscle mass too. You don't want to lose a lot of muscle, right? I think working out, I do the elliptical machine or the treadmill in the morning, and then I go into the weight room and I do weights, the weight machines, and I'll do upper body one day and lower body the other day. So I'm working out with it, and that's what's working for me. But I do not think I would lose weight if I did not work out. But people can, because she is a fine example of not working out. So you let me know that too, if what your journey is. Some people said they had an injury and they couldn't work out. But I can't remember if they were still losing weight or not. And then, as always, listen to your body. If you're still having cravings, you might need a stronger dose. So you might need to titrate up, right? You need to be able to put that beast on a leash. And if you can't, it might be that the dose that you're on may not be strong enough. But only you and your doctor can decide that. But you know your body, so really listen and be in tune with that. And remember that this medication is a tool, right? It gives you a lot of leverage in losing weight. However, I think that you still need to work out, but you got to do what's right for you. I think you need movement. Your body needs that, and I think it makes the weight loss quicker. But there are examples of people who have not, and they look amazing. So the other thing is that you have to take the medication for it to work. I mean, that two things by that. One, when you stop taking the medication, as the example of Ozempic, when you stop taking the medication, the weight comes back. That's been my experience. But the other thing is, some of you brilliant ladies, have the medication at home. Like, you literally have it. The doctor prescribed it and you have it, and you're afraid to take it. You're afraid to take it. Well, it can't work. It can't work. Toots. If you don't take it, it can't work. So, and I know the reason why you're not taking it, you told me, is because of the side effects. You're concerned about the side effects. But the severe side effects, the doctors say, is only in 1% of the population. So the odds of you having anything severe are very, very small. But only you have to make that final decision if you want to take it. Some of us haven't had any severe side effects at all, and some of us couldn't tolerate it, so I had to stop taking it altogether. But you'll never know. You'll never know if you don't try it. You'll never know. So for those of you who are scared, give it a try, and then let me know. Let me know how you feel after you've taken it. I would love to hear from you. And then again, be sure to download the free. If it's not in there as soon as you listen to this, because I'm going to upload it right away. If it's not there as soon as you listen to this, then come back for it, because it'll be there, and maybe I'll have it in the next episode too. But it is a free downloadable, and it is the beginner's jumpstart to losing weight on Zepbound, and it can work for any of the semaglutides or tirzepatides, so no worries. And the 5 biggest mistakes to avoid that will stall your success. So I want to make sure that I share that with all of you. If this has been helpful to you, if it's been of value to you, please share it with other people so that they can find us. And then also subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you get notified the next time I release a new video. You'll be the first to get it. And this will really help us. It'll help the algorithm find other people to share it with as well and get our message out there. We want to make sure that we motivate and inspire and equip and empower as many people as we possibly can, because this is it's a revolutionary weight loss medication, and it's helping a lot of people. It really is changing people's lives, mine included. So I hope that that you will be so kind to subscribe and share and ring that notification bell. And I welcome all questions and comments. Keep them coming. I felt a little bit behind because you guys are like, okay, you want me to send you some questions? I got questions. You want me to send you comments? I got comments, right? So now I'm trying to keep up with all of them. But I love, love, love reading them, hearing about your success. Hearing about what you're doing that might be different, gathering wisdom from, some of the veterans in the group. I love, love, love it. So please keep it coming. You guys are wonderful. And this is a very safe and encouraging environment. And I want to thank each and every one of you for making it that. You're making it that, because talking about weight loss, it can be very vulnerable. Not everybody, feels comfortable. And so to have a space where you can come and you can share is wonderful. So thank you for being kind to each other, being encouraging to me and to each other. You got my back and I got yours. I always like to say that we're all connected. So when you rise, we all rise. Thank you so much for joining. I want you to go out there. I want you to be bold, especially for those of you who haven't tried it yet. Go ahead and try it if your doctor prescribed it, and then just see how you do. Be brave in sharing your stories. Some of you said, I want to have my own YouTube channel. I want to share my story. You will inspire so many people. Almost 50,000 people at the time of this taping have viewed our videos. And yours too. Like, there's a whole audience just out there for you. So be brave, take that step if that's something that's on your heart to do. And be brilliant, because you absolutely are. And when you go through this journey, it's a journey of transformation, and people will see it in your eyes. They'll see it in your face. You'll be glowing, right? You'll really be brilliant, and you will really shine. And that'll give other people permission to do the same thing and stop hiding. Okay. So thank you so much for joining. Take care. And until next time, bye-bye. Bye for now.